So Syed has created the audit sheet. Let us look at it. Syed, I'll speak to you in person and help you with this.
Okay, sir.
In the previous session, we had started discussing the annexure. Everyone, please go through your annexure till the point that we had covered. Then we proceed further. We had covered till 5:37. Can you quickly go through, everyone? Take 10 minutes. Go through this. Ask me questions if you have some. Otherwise, we'll proceed. We'll move further. Deep, Vijeta, Syed, Krutika, Nikhil. Annexure A 5.1 to 5:37 is what we've done in the previous class. Take 10 minutes or more. Go through that. Ask me questions if you have. Then we proceed from there.
Okay, sir.
People, any questions? Should I move ahead? Smita, Vijeta, Krutika, Nikhil.
Yes, Pranay.
Shonali, we are good. Nehal.
Yes, sir.
Now we are headed into people controls, the portion mostly managed by your HR team. So if you are a consultant, you will have to work with the HR team to get this portion completed. It says 6.1, which is about background verification. Background verification checks for all candidates to become personnel shall be carried out prior to joining. Very important. This has to be done prior to joining and on an ongoing basis, taking into consideration applicable laws, regulations, and ethics, and be proportional with the business requirements and classification of the information to be accessed and perceived risk. So everyone that you are hiring has to go through a background verification process. But the background verification process has to be consummate to the requirement. So let's say I'm hiring a security guard. If I'm hiring a security guard, all I need, I may not need his educational qualification to be verified. All I need is possibly a police verification to be done. So depending on what role you've assigned to people in crucial roles, people who will be managing your IT department, people who will be managing your technology infrastructure, you must be more rigid towards them and less rigid towards others. That is what is to be required. Everyone with me?
Yes, sir.
6.2 Terms and conditions of employment. The employment contractual agreement shall state the personnel and the organization's responsibility for information security. So your offer letter, your appointment letter must have terms and conditions of employment, both from an employee standpoint and the organization standpoint. Just give me 1 second. So what is going to be your company's responsibility? What is going to be the employee's responsibility? Both have to be mentioned as part of your in some sort of a contractual agreement. Instead of creating a separate document, you can also include that in your offer appointment letters. That makes it easier. Otherwise, you can have a separate annexure mentioning the organizational responsibility and his responsibility. This is the auditable component, so you cannot afford to miss this.
Sir, there is some timeline also that HR can create it a document for 5 years to 7 years, or this is a long activity कि आपको 10 साल तक मेंटेन करने ही करने है, कोई टाइमलाइन नहीं होती है सर इसके लिए.
बहुत फाइनेंशियल डॉक्यूमेंट्स का आपको गवर्नमेंट के नॉर्म्स होंगे, हाउ मच टाइम विल यू नीड टू कीप इट. अदरवाइज तो ज्यादातर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन 3 to 5 years रखती हैं.
Okay, sir.
Unless explicitly instructed by an organization, by a customer or some regulatory authority. Personnel and organization, personnel of the organization and relevant interested parties shall receive appropriate information security awareness, education and training, and regular updates of the organization's information security policy, topic-specific policies and procedures as relevant to their job function. Be very, very rigid about this. Awareness is one thing, but also that if I'm working as part of the HR team, if I'm working as part of the IT team, the IT policies must be formally been trained and assessment must be done. Because please realize, if people don't know the policies, how do you ensure their adherence? So if you are an internal auditor, ensure that you look for evidence of internal policy training as well. Everyone with me? One thing is the information security awareness, both to your employees and to your vendors also, to your interested parties also. But I will also want you to share regular updates on organization's information security policy and the topic specific policies. So you modified something in your background verification policy. You modified something in your backup policy. You modified something in your incident management structure. Ensure that it is being communicated to the right people and you audit that as part of your internal audit. External auditors will look for awareness training, nothing else, but you should step a little further. 6.4, disciplinary process. What happens when you don't follow ISO 27001? A disciplinary process shall be formalized and communicated to take action against personnel and other relevant interested parties who have committed an information security violation. Let's say we've disallowed pen drives in our company. Someone were to insert a pen drive in his device. You get notified. What is the subsequent action to be taken? Maybe warning 1, warning 2, and then some action to be taken. So A, there has to be a disciplinary process. B, it has to be communicated to the employee. And C, you need to show me evidence if such breaches have happened. What have you done about it? Everyone with me? Organizations, information security responsibilities and duties that remain valid after the termination or change of employment shall be defined, enforced, and communicated to relevant personnel and their interested parties. So after you left the organization, while in the organization, you already have a lot of information with you. You have a lot of confidential business secrets with you. So when an organization is either changing his role or leaving the organization, you will have to sign some sort of a arrangement with him to ensure that he does not mess with it. For example, when I quit my last organization, well, it is lot of time ago, 2010. I had to sign a 5-year bond with them, a 5-year contract with them to say that 5 year I cannot be employed with 7 of their competitors. Even otherwise, if you don't want to sign all that rigid element, at least ensure that prior to him leaving the company, he is told about his information security liabilities and the action if they were not to adhere to it. Remote working, I don't know why remote working is part of people control. Let's go through it. Security measures shall be implemented when personnel are working remotely to protect information accessed, processed, and stored outside the organizational premises. So if you are allowing people to work from home, what are the security structures that you have put in place? So you have a VPN, you could have a two-factor authentication before someone is able to log into the organizational IT infrastructure. That has to be managed so that information security breaches are minimized. 6.8, information security event reporting. Organizations shall provide a mechanism for personnel to report observed or suspected information security events through appropriate channel in a timely manner. Some sort of a whistleblower policy. You have to give them some structure that if people were to find some evidence of breaches, what is that channel for me to report it to you? So maybe you give me a email address where I can report such events, and such what is the subsequent action taken must also be noted. With me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
सर इट्स तो ये जो पॉलिसीज हैं बेसिकली इट्स फॉर एप्लीकेबल फॉर ऑल द डिपार्टमेंट्स लाइक एचआर है तो
ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का है, ये तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए।
ओके फॉर ऑर्गेनाइज, लेकिन सम टाइम कुछ पार्ट्स हैं वो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन को दिए जाते हैं, कुछ
हाँ,
पार्ट
कर कोई
डिफरेंट
भी रहा है।
ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को
हाँ, कर तो कोई भी रहा है निखिल,
ओके
बट मुझे ये मेरे लिए ये मैंडेटरी है दैट you are ensuring that you have provided for some mechanism in which employees can report such things. अब रिपोर्ट होने के बाद वो रिसीव कौन करता है, उसका subsequent action कौन लेता है, it is your choice.
Okay.
But here it is saying please ensure that there is an infrastructure through which people can do event reporting. सर्वर रूम खुला छूट गया।
डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स हो सकते हैं बट क्वेश्चन यही रहेंगे हमारे। ओके
Now we are headed into physical controls. Physical security perimeter. Security perimeter shall be defined and used to protect areas that contain information and associated assets. So you should have some sort of a map notifying that this is where your information processing is happening. And how are you ensuring that no unauthorized personnel are entering that area? Not unauthorized people are not able to access that, whether you have access controls, whether you have physical manning of gates. So here in the first 2-3, you will need to have a physical map of the company, and you mark where are the gates, how is that being managed, is it access control, is it biometric control access, is it through physical security that you've established there. Again, don't overdo it, but this is required especially for protecting your areas. For example, one of my new customers is building a newer facility. I ensured that the meeting room for visitors, etc., is right at the reception. I will not allow people who are not associated with the company to get into the processing area. Are you with me, everyone? Why will you want everyone? A vendor is coming in. Why do you want the vendor to go inside the company? How will you ensure that that vendor will not take away something? So we are ensuring that we have given you enough training, enough meeting rooms right outside, so that no one is able to get into processing area itself. Physical entry. Secure area shall be protected by appropriate entry controls and access points, same access card, biometric, whatever. Securing offices, rooms, and facilities. Physical security for offices, rooms, and facilities shall be defined and implemented, like what we've been discussing so far. Physical security monitoring. Premises shall be continuously monitored for unauthorized physical access. Again, you could have CCTVs, you could have physical manning of gates, the entry points, but it has to be continuously monitored. That is also an important point. So CCTVs would help.
So in this case, we check whether the departments are perfectly working with other departments or not. Like a proper कि IT department और HR proper
नहीं
काम
नहीं
कर रहे
नहीं
हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं उसके
नहीं
लिए.
नहीं यहाँ आप सीधा सीधा फिजिकल सिक्योरिटी मॉनिटरिंग कर रहे हैं. सो यू आर सेइंग हाउ आर यू इंश्योरिंग दैट नो आउटसाइडर इज कमिंग इनटू द कंपनी, नो
तो इसमें
अनऑथराइज्ड
लाइबल कौन होगा फिर इसके लिए? IT डिपार्टमेंट है, एडमिन डिपार्टमेंट होगा, या
एडमिन
फिर इसके
डिपार्टमेंट,
लाइबल कौन होगा?
एडमिन.
एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन डिपार्टमेंट. ओके.
Protecting from physical and environmental threats. Protection against physical and environmental threats such as natural disasters and other intentional, unintentional physical threat to the infrastructure shall be defined and implemented. So you can have a lot of availability challenges in terms for a large scale electricity outage. You can have a huge storm that could impact your technology infrastructure. I don't know for sure, but I've heard that newer systems of access control, in the case of fire, your access gates automatically stop working. Now you don't need a card to get in or get out, because that's a fire control. But it also means that you are now under a threat that confidentiality may be breached. Correct? Anyone can get in anywhere now. Yes, no, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Same thing for 7.6. When you are working in secure areas, your access control for this secure area has to be implemented. So these are similar controls that we've been looking at. ऊपर वाले में सोचना 7.5 में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी आउटेज का इलाज क्या, मे बी a UPS and a diesel and a generator. How are you ensuring its maintenance? All of that will come as part of your 7.5. (7.7) Clear desk and clear screen. Clear desk rules for paper and removable storage media and clear screen rules for information processing facilities shall be defined and appropriately enforced. We are of the view that if you leave your laptop unattended and your desktop has some confidential files, it may be taken away, it may be stolen. Your desk has some scattered confidential papers. You move out of your office for a smoke and someone can take away those papers. So ISO 27001 seeks you to look at clear desk and clear screen. So your desktop may not, is advisable not to have things on them. And you have to build that culture. Recently in one of my audits, I have a customer here in NSEZ. They have racks outside the offices, outside the rooms. And these are racks that contain finance files. They don't want to open and close every time. So your finance rack is mostly left open. They close it once they leave for the day. But it is outside your office. No one is looking at it all the time. There is a threat I see. So those kind of elements will be important to to look at. एक बार पढ़ लो clause number 6 से यहाँ तक. Ask me questions if you have some. Then we proceed further. Okay, everyone?
Okay, sir.
सर एक जनरल क्वेश्चन जस्ट पूछना था मेरे को सर.
हम्म
सर जैसे कि हमारे जैसे एक कंपनी है, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, उसकी डिफरेंट ब्रांचेस हैं. कुछ गुड़गांव में है, कुछ जैसे नोएडा में है, कुछ दिल्ली में है. अब हम उसे आईएसओ सर्टिफिकेशंस कर रहे हैं, तो हम तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस बेसिक्स का करते हैं. ठीक है, हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को आईएसओ दे रहे हैं. तो अब जब हम ये सब फिजिकल ऑडिट ये सब करेंगे, तो हम इनको सारी ब्रांचेस पे विजिट करना पड़ेगा या फिर कैसे रहेगा था उसके लिए?
पहला क्वेश्चन की ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का नहीं होता है, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के
ओके.
लोकेशंस का होता है.
ओके.
मैं अभी सुगम का काम कर रहा हूँ. Sugam has 42 offices in India, but currently we are only doing head office.
ओके.
अगर 42 को देना है तो 42 ब्रांचेस में जाना पड़ेगा.
ओके, पर ब्रांचेस के हिसाब से हम इसको इशू करेंगे एज पर उसके.
बिल्कुल.
तो मतलब जो जो क्वेश्चनर है हर ब्रांच पे एप्लीकेबल्स होंगे, और फिर चाहे उनका उनका वर्किंग कैसे भी हो, जैसे किसी भी डिपार्टमेंट की, पर क्वेश्चनर यही एप्लीकेबल्स होंगे सारे उनके लिए.
हाँ.
ओके.
Correct, correct. Everyone okay so far? Any questions?
All good, sir.
Security of assets off premises. If you are allowing your employees to take your assets outside your office premises because of remote working or working from other sites, client visits, protection has to be implemented. Obviously, your endpoint securities will work. So your endpoint security will be able to handle all this. But they just want to remind you that if you are using, if your assets are leaving the premises, you have to think about better controls, more controls to be able to monitor and improve it. Because they pose significant amount of threat. But yes, if your machines are encrypted, etc., 75% of your problem is already handled. But you will have to think about it. Information transfer also. I have to send a hard drive to Smita today for something. I have sent it through Porter. What prohibits the Porter, the vendor, not to steal that information from that hard disk? So how are you ensuring that any asset going outside the organization is adequately protected? This is an important question from our ISO 27001 standpoint. Storage media shall be managed through their entire life cycle of acquisition, use, transportation, and disposal, like what we were discussing right now. कोई भी सामान आप बाहर से ले रहे हो, any vendor, उसका पूरा लाइफ साइकिल तो मैनेज करना ही पड़ेगा. हाउ डिड यू चूज विच काइंड ऑफ हार्ड डिस्क विल यू बाय? How did you choose? What kind of pen drives will you use? Now that you've chosen to use them, how did you configure them? Just in case they are needed in transportation, how are you ensuring that your transportation is safe? What if I have given my sales team a couple of pen drives, but because of use on external devices, that pen drive is now corrupt? When you plug it in your system, it is passing on some malicious code to your organization. What are your mechanisms of prevention of these will be very important. And last and very importantly, how do you plan to dispose it tomorrow? Tomorrow you are selling away your rundown laptops. But please remember, those laptops have hard drives which are very, very dangerous. With me, everyone?
एसिड डिस्पोजल में एसिड डिस्पोजल जो है, जो एसिड डिस्पोजल है, उसमें तो फिर सब चीजें हमारी आ जाएंगी ना कि उसकी एसिड्स की लाइफ साइकिल कितनी है, एसिड रिटायरमेंट कब करना है उसका, या फिर
Correct.
एसिड डिस्पोजल है
और
तो
कैसे
नॉट ओनली
करना है?
फॉर द, हाँ, नॉट फॉर द आईटी पर्पस, बट कार्बन इमिशन भी देखना है
मुझे
उसका
क्या
कि किस
करना है
हिसाब से
बाकी से?
उसके लिए।
मुझे तुम अपना टेबल कुर्सी जला दो फॉर ऑल आई केयर एज ए इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी कंसल्टेंट. माई ओनली कंसर्न इज माई इंफॉर्मेशन शुड नॉट बी लॉस्ट.
ओके, मतलब जो हमारे पास रिक्वायर्ड इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो रहनी चाहिए, बाकी फिजिकल आप कुछ भी कर सकते हैं उसके लिए।
इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी के परव्यू में नहीं है. Yes, you are right when you are saying I would want to be ethical. I would want to understand what is my carbon emission. I would want to understand all that. But from an information security auditing standpoint, nothing to do with me. I'm only looking at the life cycle of information assets. Uska jab disposal kar rahe ho, so a lot of organizations, what they have started to do, even when they are disposing their laptops, they will never dispose their hard disk. Hard disk को बचा के रख लेते हैं. बोले हमको पंगा लेना ही नहीं है. And that is going to be a crucial piece that the auditor will look at. Supporting utilities. Information processing facilities shall be protected from power failure and other disruptions caused by failures in supporting utilities. So your gensets, your UPS, your other mechanisms have to be protected. So whatever vendor you've hired to maintain them, unka pura maintenance check kar lo. Check if it has been tested. So let's say today there is a major outage. I will want to ask my concerned team to put all machines on in a working mode, and then see whether my genset has a capacity to handle all of them. Self genset hona is doesn't give me that faith that you will be able to handle it. So you will have to do testing also. So maintenance contracts, maintenance thereof, testing will be an important check when you are looking at supporting utilities. Everyone with me? Cabling security, cables carrying power, data, and supporting information services shall be protected from interception, interference, or damage. This is an old thing, can't happen anymore. Today, most of your cables provided by your telecom provider and things like that are all encrypted. So there can't be breaches. Yes, if it is not handled well, if it is not done well, तार कट जाता है. That could have an impact, but that is mostly handled by your vendor themselves. You have to just monitor it whether the right things have been done, the right practices have been used. They are not exposed in a way to get damaged. That is what you have to check here. Equipment shall be maintained correctly and to ensure CIA of information. Same story. पहले supporting utilities का बात कर रहा था. Now it is talking about equipment. So is there some type of maintenance you are doing for your servers, your other devices also? Secure disposal or reuse of equipment. Items of equipment containing storage media shall be verified to ensure that any sensitive data and licensed software have been removed or securely overwritten prior to disposal or reuse. This is going to be a big piece. We will put together a disposal policy together, because disposal is going to be very tricky, and because of e-waste, government also has a lot of legal requirements here. So we will you have to think in terms of disposal processes. When you are disposing your hard disks, storage medias, and things like that, those are very dangerous because they have information. But even otherwise, as a society, we have to start thinking about how are we handling e-waste. All you need to do is notify your procurement team to onboard a e-waste vendor, and they will give you a in writing that how are they looking at hiring it. So most organizations will outsource 7.14. Only cleaning of the sensitive data could be part of your job. Disposal will be mostly done by external vendors. Everyone with me? Now comes the real deal. How many of you are from IT background? How many of you are core technology people? Deep, you understand the security technologies?
Yes, sir.
Smita, obviously. Vijeta,
No, Pranay, I'm from operations.
okay. Sayed, you are also from a IT background, right?
No, sir. I am from wireless background, wireless telecom background.
Okay.
Telecom.
Kritika, you understand these IT infrastructure technologies well or no?
Not completely. Sir.
Okay. Nikhil, how about you?
सर आई नो नेटवर्किंग एंड सिक्योरिटी CCNA किया हुआ है तो थोड़ा बहुत है नॉलेज सर.
Okay. Shonali? No.
No, sir.
Good. Nihal, तुम VAPT वाले हो?
नहीं, इंफॉर्मेशन सिक्योरिटी.
Give me 10 minutes, people. 10 मिनट का break ले लो आप लोग. Let me just think through how to plan this for people who are not from technology background. Give me 5 minutes, 10 minutes. आप लोग 10 मिनट का break ले लो. Let me think through and start this. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Are we back, people?
Yes, sir.
What I was thinking, two things. I think one, I wanted to do a session on cyber security architecture.
Yes, sir, it's helpful तो at least basics are clear.
और थोड़ा in depth discussion कर लेंगे. I think it will need about 2, maybe 3 hours or more. And if you need, I can also do some. So if you understand, there are some basic technologies that will play a role. So you will have your endpoint security infrastructures, like you are doing your encryption. So what is cryptography and how does it work? Your what is RBAC and how it's used. I don't know whether you understand patch management, vulnerability, maybe a short discussion on VAPT as a method and how are we looking at handling it. This, let me check the. So this will cover my endpoint. Achha, software development is a very important piece here. So we will need, let's not call it endpoint. So software development. So information security in software development is an important piece. There are a lot of controls around software development.
Secure SDLC.
Yes. DLP, we need to understand. Maybe threat intelligence also. Maybe a small discussion on firewalls and antivirus could also help. Anything else, Smita? Anyone else? Anything else that you want me to discuss? Maybe networking technologies.
Incident
live
handling.
आपने लाइव एग्जांपल्स दे देना कि जो आपने लाइव ये सब किया हो तो वो थोड़ा इजी रहेगा.
Sure. निहाल कुछ बोल रहे थे आप?
Incident handling.
Incident.
वो बैकअप में जाएगा ना, बैकअप सेम इंसिडेंट एंड
हाँ, सबको अलग ही कर देता हूँ बैकअप. एक चेंज मैनेजमेंट कर देता हूँ.
PRDR वाला जो रहता है, डिजास्टर रिकवरी एंड बैकअप रिस्टोर समथिंग, राइट? 2 रहते हैं.
Continuity. Disaster recovery. You have a lot of software development related controls here. And today, information security in AI environment. I'll just give you a brief overview and then we'll plan it accordingly.
आई थिंक मीन्स अभी मैंने DR में सर्च किया. DR इज पार्ट ऑफ एनेक्चर
छोटा सा.
A.5 29-23 का पार्ट है.
So we have a plan that we will do. I will give you access to ISO 22301, and then I will discuss the BIA register with you. Business impact analysis का document अब ISO 27001 में मांगने लगे हैं.
What is BIA?
Business impact analysis करना पड़ता है business continuity में.
Okay.
और privacy का एक बार conversation कर लेंगे. If I give you some reading content, you guys will be able to do that, everyone?
Yes, Pranay.
Yes.
Okay. So इसमें I can only give you content. Here I can give you content. This is slightly complicated, but I can give you content there also.
हम जब बैकअप का प्लान करते हैं BIA में, मीन्स आर वी कंसिडर दोज RTO and RPO timings also?
Absolutely.
Do we review that?
In the ISO 27001 itself, it will ask you for RTO, RPO.
Okay.
When you are auditing that business continuity clause in the annexure, they will ask you for that document.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll first create content for all of this, share that with you. इन दोनों का तो content मेरे पास already है, exhaustive सा, and then we'll work together on the other technologies. ठीक है everyone? Let's start first. So from a technological control standpoint, the ISO 27001 starts with endpoint devices security. So whatever endpoint devices we have, information stored on, processed by, or accessible via user endpoint devices shall be protected. So an organization has laptops, mobile devices. So you will have to ensure that your basic infrastructure around endpoint security has to be established. Ideally, what are we doing? We are using a lot of softwares on our laptops. These softwares, time to time, will release patches. Patches are very few about enhancements. These are mostly about identification of vulnerabilities and fixing those vulnerabilities. So one very important aspect of entire endpoint device management will be your patch management. Shonali, you will have to ensure that every device that you're using as an organization, there you are patching those devices, patching so that you're always using the upgraded version. Everyone, are we together on this?
Yes, sir.
We are saying endpoint security. We are saying one is necessarily your patch management. So the obvious thing to do will be your encryption. If your endpoint devices are encrypted, most of your challenges associated with your confidentiality are taken care of. अगर मेरा device encrypted है, even if my device were to be stolen, no one will be able to decrypt. Decryption is very complicated without the decryption key. So encryption of devices, patch management, you need to have your antivirus in place. और इसका updation, very crucial. We are talking in terms of other associated access controls, including your role-based access control. We are talking in terms of you have a lot of EDR endpoint response mechanisms that have been put in place to be able to understand that what are the challenges associated with my endpoint devices and how are we, what are we going to, what are we doing in terms of handling those resources. एक बार सब लोग जरा spend 2 minutes, go back to your ChatGPT, ask for the basic EDR processes. Everyone? Please do this once. It is saying one thing, ये physical security, awareness, ये सब तो ठीक है. Okay, nothing much. Now we are looking at keeping our endpoint devices safe in terms of your DLPs that you've implemented, your encryptions that you've implemented, your backup will be an important provision, I'm sorry, so that availability is not impacted. So you will have to ensure that as an organization, आप auditor हो, आपका काम है to check whether all patches have been implemented, they are up to date, किसी में कोई update जैसा नहीं दिख रहा है. You have to ensure that the encryption that the organization has implemented, it is applicable to all machines. I suddenly see because of Windows 11 coming about, some organizations still have some machines which are working on Windows 10. Windows 10 है इसका मतलब there are going to be vulnerabilities. Everyone with me? Yes, no, black, white people?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
सर बट उस केस में वो ये भी तो कह सकते हैं कि हमने विंडो इसलिए यूज कर रहे हैं क्योंकि लाइसेंस बेसिस के लिए बेसिकली कि अभी हम इस पे प्रॉपर एंटीवायरस रन कर रहे हैं, ये कर रहे हैं इसके लिए.
तो आप उसको रिस्क रजिस्टर में डाल दो और टॉप मैनेजमेंट से अप्रूवल ले लो, मुझे चलेगा. बट ध्यान रखना, whenever you are using a lower version, it means there are bound to be vulnerabilities. So that poses a serious risk. एक बार रिसर्च कर लेना if you are the auditor कि क्या challenges आ सकते हैं. What we do is generally हम मूव करा देते हैं वो डिवाइसेस तुम एडमिन स्टाफ को दे दो, उनके पास वैसा डेटा होता ही नहीं है जो खतरे में पड़ेगा. Are you with me?
Yes.
Obviously, all the antivirus, etc., and any other monitoring tool that you are using. कोई तो डिटेक्शन का टूल आप, your detection methods have to be verified. Access control will be important. Endpoint response mechanisms have to be. I will even go to the extent of saying maybe have more user awareness. The do's and don'ts. Maybe stop download of softwares without impact analysis. If you are the IT team, you will get a random request from a project to say that मुझे ये वाला software चाहिए. But have you tested if there are any challenges? If there are any challenges with the newer software that you have sought? So someone has to do an impact analysis before they allow you with that. Everyone, are we together? (8.2) Privileged access right. Allocation and use of privileged access right shall be restricted and managed. I will want you to be very, very stringent with any privileged access provided to anyone. Privileged accesses have the ability to override my controls. So unless it is super critical, I will not allow. And even if I have allowed, it has to be very, very tightly monitored, and it has to be time bound. I can't give you the privileged access, the admin rights to a machine for eternity. So I am doing a particular thing that I need the admin rights for. Okay, I will give it to you for a month. I'll give it to you for 2 months. And after 2 months, please ensure that the access is revoked. Otherwise, such privileged access is very, very dangerous for the entire infrastructure. Information access restriction. Access to information and other associated assets shall be restricted in accordance with the established topic-specific policy on access control. Least privilege is the basic logic. Unless you mandatorily need it, I will not provide you the access. And I will only give you, even if I'm giving you access, I will give you read-only access. Yes, read-only access sometimes creates trouble, but we don't have a choice. We can't give you the edit rights always. Secure code. If you have softwares, for example, AIG has its own CRM, which means I also have my code for that CRM. I have my code for my e-learning. I have my code for my website. If this code is not secure, someone can mess with your entire infrastructure. Are you guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Secure authentication technologies and procedures shall be implemented based on information access restrictions and topic specific policy on access control. So how are you ensuring that you are what is your mechanism of ensuring that the information that the authentication procedure? So I am saying it is password protected. But if I have a let's say I'm a bank and I have my clients with very large financial transactions. If you only have a password, someone remembers that password that has been wrongly shared, it can lead to huge financial losses for the customer. So what is your mechanism of authentication? How are you ensuring? So today you have OTPs, but I can still hack your OTP and password both. You have to start thinking in terms of making crucial information not available to people who are not authorized. And dependent on how dangerous that information is, rigorous your control has to be. Everyone with me? The use of resources shall be monitored and adjusted in line with current and expected capacity requirements. So you have to have a capacity management policy. ISO does not want, but the auditor will definitely ask you for an entire policy. So you will have to ensure that today you are 500 people company, you have X number of licenses, you have provisions to be able to cater to that capacity requirement. But you are growing fast. Are you looking at my capacity requirement changes? And it has to be handled adequately. Otherwise, it has a serious breach on availability. Today, I have a client. Whenever I get into a Microsoft team meeting with them, the screen is almost never visible. Almost never visible because they are a GIS company. They have very large data to download. So all their people are constantly downloading hundreds of GBs of data. What that does is your capacity of your operating network, etc., is not being able to stand the bandwidth that you are providing them. You will have to be careful about all this. Some auditor can give you some minor non-conformity out of this. Protection against malware. Protection against malware shall be implemented and supported by appropriate user awareness. User awareness is very crucial when you're doing your malware protection. Your antivirus firewall are sufficient to be able to do that, but monitoring them will be an important thing. So I will have you to have a structure around how are you looking at the malware related incidents. How are you looking at protecting yourself in the long term? 8.8 VAPT, management of vulnerabilities, information about technical vulnerabilities of information systems in use shall be obtained. Organizations' exposure to such vulnerabilities be evaluated and appropriate measures will be taken. You will have to identify all your assets and you will have to do your VAPT for them. One VAPT to understand, identify your current vulnerabilities, get them fixed, and then you will have to do the VA again to ensure that you have a zero vulnerability report. This is going to be very crucial. External auditors are very rigid about this. This time, while sounds unintelligent, but my external auditors in one of my customer companies was going to the extent of saying it has to be a CERT certified VAPT auditor. Are you with me? There's a Government of India agency called CERT. So if you are AIG conducted a lot of VAPT, but now my external auditors are saying that we need VAPT report from someone who is CERT certified. So CERT does an accreditation of agencies capable of doing VAPT, and unless you are CERT accredited, you should not do your reports may not be acceptable to reports may not be acceptable to the external agency. configuration management. Your configurations have to be mentioned as part of your asset register, so that you can raise red flags when there is time of sunset of your devices. Information deletion. Information stored on information systems, devices, or in any other storage media shall be deleted when no longer required. With newer technologies coming to play, deletion has become a very challenging thing to do. I'm not too sure, but
Hello.
I heard somewhere that even if you were to do a factory reset of your mobile phones, the video or the photo that you shot on your mobile phone can still be recovered. Are you with me, everyone?
Yes, sir. Through forensic, they can recover anything.
Which is very dangerous. मतलब ये तो आप फोरेंसिक बोल रहे हो, so government agencies कर रही हैं, but
Yes.
even if it is a technology, then it can be available to someone with bad intent also. Correct, na? And it can pose serious threat to the organization and all of us as professionals, as people.
सर अगर विदाउट नॉलेज हो रहा है, जैसे अभी पीछे सीसीटीवी का हुआ था कि चाइनीज सीसीटीवी कैमरेज बैन कर दिए कंप्लीटली, क्योंकि उनको लगा था कि हमारी इंफॉर्मेशन वहां पे ब्रीच हो रही है। तो सेम यहाँ पे भी ये एप्लीकेबल होगा, और हमें लगता है कि किसी भी चीज से हमारी चीज कोई ब्रीच हो रही है तो हम उसे
ये
कंप्लीटली बैन भी कुछ भी कर सकते हैं क्या उसके लिए?
ये 8.8 करके देख लो एक बार, जो सीसीटीवी का सॉफ्टवेयर है उस पर वीएपीटी करके देख लो, अगर वल्नरेबिलिटी है तो उसको ठीक कर लो।
ओके।
फिर कुछ करना ही नहीं पड़ेगा। और ये रियलिटी है यार, वी आर एक्सपोज्ड बिग वे।
यस सर।
जो इजराइल ने ईरान में किया, व्हाट प्रिवेंट्स देम फ्रॉम डूइंग इट टू यू?
नहीं सर, 1 साल पहले वो कोई पेजर बम उन्होंने बनाया था, कह रहे उसकी तैयारी 10 साल पहले से कर रखी थी उन्होंने, कि अगर ये पेजर यूज करेंगे तो उसमें वो करेंगे उसके लिए।
Correct. Data masking shall be used in accordance with the organization's topic-specific policy on access control and other related topic-specific policies and business requirements, taking applicable legislations into consideration. जैसे अब मैं आधार कार्ड भी लेता हूं एम्प्लॉइज का, तो मैं आधार कार्ड भी मास्क लेता हूं। कौन पंगा ले? बहुत डेंजरस है यार। You will have to start masking information that you don't need. हमारे सिस्टम के थ्रू कोई भी आदमी आपके एम्प्लॉय का प्राइवेट इंफॉर्मेशन निकाल सकता है। You have to start thinking on those lines to be able to do your business better. Masking will be important. एक बार यहाँ तक पढ़ लो, 8-11 तक 10 मिनट का ब्रेक लेते हैं, then we proceed further from here. Okay, everyone. Nehal, which link is not working?
अरे हो गया सर, डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था।
Anyone? Any questions so far? No? Yes. If you see your annexure has a lot of requirements about software development. Let me first note it down for you. 833. Then you have separation of (831). 831. Yeah. Cut. Paste. क्या है? This is 830. Security testing. Secure coding. Then you have secure system architecture. My screen is visible to all of you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I forgot to mention the principal is 827. This is 827. Secure coding was 828. 828. This is 829. This is partially applicable. We'll talk about it. But yeah. So if you see, I have listed down some controls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 controls, which are either completely applicable only when you are developing softwares on your own. So it says 831, development, test, and production environment shall be separated and secured. If you understand software development, it is almost a good practice everywhere that your production environment, where your live code is, where you are developing, where you are testing, are always kept separate. If you are not doing it currently, information security mandates that they have to be separated, and obviously they will have to be secured. Test information, when you are doing software testing, ensure that your test information is adequately protected. If you are doing any outsourced development, then this control is applicable to you. Otherwise, it is not applicable. Security testing processes. So if you are doing if you are doing software development, 27, 28, 29 have to be implemented. So this is not your job. You will only have to intimate your software development team to be able to handle this. 828 secure coding principles shall be applied. Principles of engineering secure systems shall be established, documented, and maintained and applied to any information system development activities. 830, if you are outsourcing. Next, information security requirement shall be identified, specified, and approved when developing or acquiring systems. So even if you are getting a software from outside, this control is mandatory for you. Otherwise, if you are only doing software development, then this is applicable to you. What are you doing in terms of keeping your information security in place in software development is what this is covering. But even if you are acquiring it from outside, you will have to appraise your purchase team to ensure that software acquisition also has this requirement, has information security requirement built into them. Everyone with me? Yes, no, black, white? Too difficult? आसान है? What is your current status? सोनाली, समझ आया? बाउंसर हो गया?
आंसर हो गया सर.
अच्छा. Kritika, you're saying
नहीं,
something?
Nothing. So these 6 controls, we will not do anything. We'll just audit.
And you will have to let me tell you my own stories. I am helping a logistics company implement information security with them. They are not a software development company, which also means that this is exclusion from my ISO 27000. So in my SOA, where I have to mention what controls have I implemented, what controls I have not implemented, I can simply list this down to say that these are not applicable. These are exclusions. Why? Because we are not a software development company. With me, Kritika? With me, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I will plan next Saturday, Sunday to focus on the content that we discussed and try and create the content for you. Try and create the content for you shortly so that you can go through it, and then because I think technological controls help. No? तो पहले मैं को कंटेंट बना लेता हूँ and then we proceed from here. ठीक रहेगा ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And please, everyone, please realize this. Networking is a different technology. AD is a different technology. Software development is a very different thing to do. Cloud is a very different thing to do. You will never be an expert at all of this. So try and focus on becoming an auditor. How do you become an implementer on this? Ask. People who are from networking background will spend their career in networking only. People who do cloud management are only doing cloud. These are not mutually complementing skills. These are very different things. Very different things. So yes, some of this will be a little complicated to you, and you can start with building your competencies in this area, but don't be too worried. But don't be too worried if you are not an expert on day one. You will have to slowly build yourself on this. You were saying something, Vijayata?
No, Pranay.
You will have to be, all of us will have to be very careful about what are we looking at. What are we looking at from an information from our expertise level perspective? Because this is going to be very, very crucial for all of us. This will become dangerous if you try and become an expert overnight. Because बहुत different चीजें हैं. Software development is a ocean in itself. And my personal advice will be you don't need to understand software development too much. You should understand what are the stages of software development. How are you going to ensure information security in them? I will work with you on that. I will create documents accordingly. And hopefully I will get time today. Otherwise, I'll do it next Saturday, Sunday, so that you understand these technologies. Give me time till tomorrow, everyone. Give me time till tomorrow. I will try and compile all of this reading content, some exhaustive, really exhaustive reading content on this, so that we are able to understand this well, audit this well, audit this portion very well. Because it is very, very crucial that we take a deep dive in this area. Okay, everyone. I think let me first create that document, and then I will reach out to you guys again. Okay.
Okay.
Achha, I need a little help. My team has just created a ISO 27001 awareness deck that I have to give to a firm. Amy, please review and give me your feedback. What else? What else should be discussed with an organization when you are doing ISO awareness training? Fair thought, everyone.
Okay.
This is 27,001. No, this is not the batch. This is निहाल. मैं आपको भेज रहा हूँ, आप ग्रुप पे डाल दोगे? ओ, मिल गया. This is April. This is Nihal. And this is 27,000 batch. No, not this. This is Vijay Das. You guys agree now that we need to do some more groundwork before we go through technological controls? Yes, no? Nihal?
Yes,
Smita?
yes,
sir, yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I
Sir.
think that cybersecurity architecture and these basic technologies we should do in depth before we move further. Correct, na?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm not meeting you guys tomorrow. I'm meeting you next Saturday, Sunday, but by tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will send you the entire reading content. Please ensure that you go through that, and then we can meet next Saturday onwards to kind of complete it. Okay, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, Smita.
Sir, the document I haven't received.
I put it in one group. I will put it in the other group also.
May group. Sir.
April वाले पे डाल दे मैंने. Just 1 second. May 27,000. Done. Please review this. Give me your advice. Yes, Smita.
मैं ये पूछ रही थी प्रणय, हमें मीन्स ये जो एग्जाम के लिए जो कुछ डेमो टेस्ट ऐसे कुछ रहेगा?
हाँ, इनफैक्ट मैं आज वही बनाने में लगाई हूँ. I have created that test. Now I have to upload that on Microsoft Form.
क्योंकि
so-
कोई आइडिया नहीं है कैसा क्वेश्चंस आएगा, क्या आएगा, तो
देखो इन एग्जाम बॉडीज ने एग्जाम को बहुत फालतू बना दिया स्मिता. सो एक्सपेक्ट अ वेरी अनइंटेलिजेंट एग्जाम. एआईजी वाला एग्जाम थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्टिंग भी होगा. टीयूवी वगैरह का तो एग्जाम है वही होगा.
मैं तो टीयूवी ऑप्ट कर रही हूँ.
वो तो एग्जाम बहुत बहुत इजी होगा. उसका कुछ सैंपल है मेरे पास. I'll send it to you guys. ठीक है. I'll see you guys next Saturday.